What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about OnyxCoin today, XCN. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it, my friends. It is the 31st of July. 22 hours, 10 minutes left in this day, in this month. What a crazy fast month it's been, July. And we did have a little bit of a drop down yesterday, 4% to the downside. So looking like we are taking the path of lower prices. Have we broken out of this range? I think we have at this point. Nope, we're getting there though, right? And you can see it. It's happening exactly as like we would expect it to. I wouldn't say exactly as predicted, because there were points where I did think that we were going to move up, right? Yesterday, I did think that we were going to move higher. But here, moving up like this, this time you had a very weak reaction. Typically, whenever you see these diagonal lines and you get these weak reactions, that almost always brings a sell-off point. People think, oh no, we've broken the uptrend, we're going down. But then you find support here, and it's actually not breaking the uptrend, because you have a low, a higher low, and another higher low. Uptrends are defined by higher lows, higher highs, not these figments of our imagination on these diagonal lines. That's not how it works, right? But people who are new don't know that, and the market is made to take money from people who are new. That's literally the whole point. That's why you have smart money, dumb money, right? Smart money, seasoned veterans; dumb money, not so much, right? And even then, the seasoned vets can be dumb at times, right? And speaking from personal experience, looking at this on a 1 hour time frame, 1 hour MACD. I mean, the MACD does look bearish, but I'm not like crazy bearish on it. You do have higher lows on the oscillators, and you do have lower lows in the price, so there is some bullish divergence going on. Stochastics are bearish. RSI also, I would say neutral but bearish. You could move up a little bit and then move down, right? We've got these lower highs coming in line there, so it's very possible. But you might be moving down now. That could have been the low, but I would assume that we go a little bit lower, right? In regards to that trend line, I think that we would go lower. So I'm assuming what we'll see is exactly what we were talking about probably a few days ago. We took it back. I thought that we were going to see something like this originally, right? Something that would come down like this, but then we took it back and said, nope, instead this is what we got, so we're going to W like this, but it's back on the table, right? I think that this is what we're going to see, this V, and then we're going to have this U down here, some kind of double bottom. It could be a higher low. I wouldn't be surprised if it was a double bottom or even a lower low. We very well could go below this low. Where is that price there? At 1.46 cents. We really could go below there, and that's okay if we do. I really think, and not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but if you look at this right now, just how this is developed, I really do like the way it looks. I like this little like arced point here, and we're coming down for a double bottom, maybe a higher low, maybe a slightly lower low. I like this shape. You know, be wary of this like W shape here, like that with a point, or like this with that soft U in the middle, whatever, right? The sack of glory is what that is, right? Or the bottom of caressed greatness. I don't know. It looks good. It's a good shape as far as turning things around goes, right? But a little bit lower. I think that we are going to go a little bit lower. The 4 hour RSI is, surprisingly enough, going lower. I would have thought that we would see some kind of reaction that was more positive, because we were doing some different stuff here than we did on these other rejection points, but we're still going lower. I think the one thing that we have that is going in our favor is that we haven't seen a low lower than this. We probably won't see a low lower than that in the 4 hour RSI. Perhaps what we do is we kiss that oversold zone, get right into it, get a double bottom, a higher low with this as well. You have that same shape on the RSI here, right? And I think that it's developing. We will inevitably get into the overbought zone. I think the 2nd, the 3rd of August should be exciting days, the 1st of August even. We might see a little bit of a shakeout on the 2nd of August. Do be weary of that. It's very possible. But, you know, we could see a shakeout toward the end of the day and still close the day green. You know, it doesn't have to be this bad thing that lasts forever. But maybe the 2nd of August is a little bit shaky, and then from then on we should continue to rally. 4 hour MACD looks like it's building some bearish momentum. Stochastics are oversold. RSI, yeah. I think we go a little bit lower. All that to say, I think we do go a little bit lower. And as far as where we go, again, your guess is as good as mine. We could go to, I mean, that could have been the low there, but I do think that we go lower. I think we'd see 1.49 cents, maybe 1.4 cents at the lowest. I doubt we go below 1.4 cents, but anything can happen. After that, after we find our low, sorry, hold on, guys. Oh man, there's a lot of smoke out and about here where I'm at. If anybody's in Colorado, you know, man. There's, I mean, probably even in Utah or California. I'm sure Mexico or New Mexico, Arizona. I'm sure that there is. If we've got smoke here, you guys probably got smoke as well. So it's been hazy, man. It's been very, very hazy. Shout out to the hazers in the Midwest and the West. I guess Colorado isn't the Midwest, but I think of Colorado, like when I hear the word Midwest, I think Middle West. That's Colorado. That the mid north is Michigan. You know, it's even kind of east in the ratio of the United States. I don't know. I don't make the rules, man. I'm just saying. I'm a literal person, okay? I'm very literal. When I hear Midwest, I'm like, that Montana is north. What? Wisconsin is north. Michigan is north. What do you mean, North Dakota? It's north. It's all north. It's not Midwest. But but if you tell people that from those areas, they're like, we are the Midwest. What are you talking about? I'm saying geographically. I'm not denying your heritage, okay? You guys have a culture of your own, all right? All you UPers, but well, maybe not. They're not all in the UP, but I'm just saying all the Oopers. Anyways, man, I'm getting off on a whole different. I'm probably pissing people off or making them laugh. Hopefully, making them. You know, the people from the Midwest actually have really good senses of humor. Probably the best sense of humor in the United States comes from people in the Midwest. Genuinely, absolutely, genuinely. Those are the kind of people that you could say the harshest things to, they'll say it back to you, and they think that they had a good conversation with you. It was nothing personal. That's like it's really hard to genuinely make them mad, but you don't want to make them mad. Anyways, man, I'm trying to be friendly. Back to the for anybody that's not from America, that last part probably was just completely irrelevant. But anyways, back to the task at hand here. We're at about 1.5 cents, my friends. Looking like we want to move up higher. Definitely do. From a high here to a low there. Golden ratio down to the 236, probably a little bit lower. This fib is just disrespected, disregard. I mean, it's not disregarded entirely, but we found support down here in an area that makes no sense. We'll probably do it again, you know, that makes no sense. Maybe we'll get a double bottom, but whenever it comes to moving higher, we should see resistance at the 786, 886, 2.3 cents to 2.5 cents. I have a theory that we will completely eradicate that level and we won't even actually stop there for long. Maybe we stop there for a day or two. Maybe we don't stop there at all. When OnyxCoin moves, man, it moves very, very robustly. It moves at a very fast pace. So it's completely possible that we say sayonara to 2.3 to 2.5 cents. We move all the way up to 4 cents, 5 cents, and even beyond that. That should take place in the beginning of August. And I love it, man. I love it. I don't know. I know that there's a lot of people who I don't know. I don't want to compare myself to other people, but let's just say I'm a little bit different in the sense of I can be wrong about the timing, and I really don't care because I've done this before, man. I've been through this before. This is my third bull cycle. I know that we've been calling for these higher prices day in and day out, all the way back, and they just here we are, still calling for it, and we're just pushing the date back, but it's gonna come. I'm different in the sense that like I don't care, right? All these guys that are talking smack about OnyxCoin, they're coming in, they're laughing, you know, and good. It gives you something to do. You've got something to laugh at, you've got something to poke fun at. What I'm looking forward to is just seeing the price do inevitably what we've expected it to do. What I'm looking forward to is all the success stories, all the people who took this time. While some people were laughing, some people were pointing fingers, calling it a scam, not buying when it's clearly in accumulation mode. There's no selling pressure. Anytime it sells, there's a lack of volume. Anytime, and I mean, hell, what did we do yesterday? We moved down about 4%, probably no volume at all yesterday. Right, I'm gonna guess like less than 6% as it normally is, probably even less than 4% volume, right? What I'm excited for is everybody. I'm gonna miss the haters. I'm gonna miss the trolls because sometimes they're funny and they're just deranged, which is also kind of funny. But I'm going to be very excited to read all the success stories because I know there's a lot of you who've been accumulating OnyxCoin. There's people I know personally who've been accumulating OnyxCoin, and then you guys as well, who I don't know as personally, but still I've communicated with on comments and in the Discord. Volume. Oh wow. Oh wow. We had 9%. Wow. Okay, so there you go. There was a little bit of selling pressure yesterday. 9%. That's some of the most selling pressure we've seen as far as volume goes. I think since the beginning of June. like genuinely throughout this whole time. And maybe we do push a little bit lower because of that. I don't know. Or perhaps we're getting to the end of this. It's not really reflected in the Coinbase chart, but that's, I have to admit, that is actually a little bit, that's like what we get, if not more than that, whenever we pump. We actually normally do get more than that whenever we pump. But 4% down, you got 9% volume. Was there any wicks? Was there buying pressure? I mean, there's a little bit of time down in this area. Maybe we were buying, maybe there was some buying pressure because of the trend line. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe I'm just coping. I don't know. But I'm very excited for everybody. Very excited to see the prices. We're gonna miss you guys. The haters, the trolls, they're irrelevant now. They'll be even more irrelevant then, right? There were haters and trolls back here. There are haters and trolls here. We have only got higher lows. There were haters and trolls here, and they were very silent up here. There's like one guy that wasn't silent up here, and they're very silent up here as well, right? And then of course there were no haters and trolls back over here. We're about to get into that territory too, but I'm not excited for that. I'm more just excited to see the success stories and the good tidings and the good things that are going to come toward everybody who's been accumulating OnyxCoin for all this time. I'm not a paid shill. I don't work with OnyxCoin or the Onyx DAO. I don't get paid by them. They should pay me, but I don't. It's decentralized, so is that even a thing? In fact, nobody. That's one of the things that I think is the strongest point for OnyxCoin. Nobody talks about it. Who's paid to shill it? Nobody, because there's nobody who's paid to shill it. Nobody is, right? All these coins: Pudgy Penguin, Pepe, Sui, Hyperliquid, Algorand, Hedera. All these different coins, and a lot of those coins are great, and they're going to continue to pump. They're going to make you money. But those coins are talked about not because people believe in them, but because they're being paid to talk about them, right? This coin pumps. This coin's relevant. This coin is in the top 117 as far as this place goes, and nobody's paid to shill it. People shill it because it's an interesting project and it's worth talking about, and that's why whenever we were pumping here, week after week, day after day, moved up 20x, nobody talked about it because nobody was paid to shill it. And I would bet that as we move up again, nobody's going to talk about it. None of the big accounts are going to talk about it. There's going to be some people like me and other YouTubers that talk about it because it's relevant. But a lot of these guys, they've got their head in the clouds. They got their head up there, you know what's, and they won't talk about something unless they're being paid to talk about it. So, or, you know, sometimes they take enough interest in it, but I don't know why they haven't taken more of an interest in this coin. But I'm rambling at this point, you guys. I got nothing else for you. Do your own research. Definitely do your own research. We've had a lot of time to accumulate. What's funny is I would expect that most of you right now who are impatient, who are sitting on the edge of your seat, when is it going to pump? You're getting discouraged. You feel like you've made the wrong choice. You should sell and you should buy some other coin that's pumping right now, right? Anything like that. I undoubtedly believe that a lot of you, once the price gets up here, or 26 to 32 cents, that's where we're going up in this area, you're going to be like, damn it, I should have bought more. I knew it was going to do this. I should have bought more. But you're going to say that then, but right now you're not so sure, are you? I think the best thing that anybody could do right now is buy some OnyxCoin because this thing is about to rip through the freaking roof. But I got nothing else, guys. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.